Hello everyone and welcome back to Creeper World. By popular demand I'm doing a bit more on this. So this is Vidar map 2 from the Conquest series. It is a map that I haven't actually tried yet, so I cannot say how long this episode is going to take. There may be some speeding up, I don't know. But I figured it would be fun to try out a map that I haven't actually played before, just to see, just sort of to see how my thought process goes on the strategy. So, looking over the map, we can see that all of the creep spawners are in the top right section, and they're fairly bunched together, which means the creep is going to go fairly quickly, but we have this pit near them. Let me just grab something here. Yep, there we go. So we've got this pit around here, where all of the creep is going to start flowing fairly quickly. We can expect this whole valley to be flooded fairly swiftly, as well as a large portion of up here, just by virtue of this one. But all of the different valleys are going to slow down creep progression. We can also see we've got this large area here where I believe, yeah, we can shift Odin City. So that's a good point because that is higher ground. Although we can also take note that there is only this small section here where it can actually get into here. So it's going to take a long while for the creep to manage to flow all the way around and get into here. Nonetheless, probably a good idea to move Odin City to high ground because it will increase the amount of time. We don't appear to have spores coming. You can see where they would be down here at the mission time. And we have these free totems to get to. Now this one's going to be a pain because it's right in this big ditch that all of the screen... Okay, sorry about that. Forgot which room I was in on TeamSpeak. Anyway, so this totem down here is going to be a pain because it's in a very dense area where all of the creeps are going to go. This one's going to be a little tough, well, not tougher, but going to be a bit tough because it's right next to one, and we're heading right above the creepers one that's right next to it, so it has above ground as well, so that's a bit annoying. In terms of beating the creep spawners, we could put a blaster here, but it would probably... Unless I had some serious support, it would probably get hit every time this creep tried to grow, and that could potentially get destroyed over time. But we should probably be looking to take down this spawner here, and ideally this spawner here. Almost certainly we're going to want to take this one down as well. And I think this is probably going to be the first totem that we pick up. It's also right next to an upgrade point, which I suggest that's what we're supposed to do anyway. But let's get started by shifting the city up here. And we're going to start by putting a collector here, and we're going to build over a bit if we can. Yep. And we're going to put a mortar right here to try and stem the tide of things down here. And shift into double speed, and let's get going. Okay, so there goes the creep. And it's flooding into those little apartments there. And look, our upgrade, so we're going to build things 20% faster. Because that will help us get to our state. We're going to probably want to get a blaster up and going here, because it looks like the creep is coming down here a lot faster than I was expecting it to. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Okay, there it goes. Gotta get away from the edge, because we only want to be protecting this layer up here, so we can then move on. Right, perfect. We got a collector now that can get both the totem and the upgrade. That's going to help us quite a bit. And the creep is progressing fairly slowly up here, so that's probably going to be an advantage for us later. Okay, we've got our very, very loud mortar going on now. It's one of the main problems with doing videos on Creeper World, is that the mortar is very, very loud and you tend to need to use it quite a bit. Okay. 10% more energy. So the creep is now moving fairly slowly up here. Let's see if we can get moved up a bit. See that the creep is building up over here, which means it's going to start overflowing soon, so we probably want to get a mortar over there. Oh, I think I'm stretching a bit too far there, so that collector, yep, that one's gone. We may have to start building a ton of reactors, because we're running low on energy, and our deficit, as you can see in the bottom right there, is kind of, well, it's decreasing now, but it's still fairly high. But we are now getting a happy supply to these blasters, so we probably want to have a collector get built. Let's also build one there, so put that up. Everything costs 10% less, so we'll decrease our deficit quite nicely. Let's just gradually shuffle it up here, because it looks like this creep is growing rather quickly. Okay, it's proceeding on the left-hand side there. Oop. And it looks like we're a bit too slow building down there, so we're losing those collectors now. And yeah, it's just flooding over. That's not good. We're gonna lose everything down here, it looks like. And that's also bad, because once it joins up here, it's gonna start flooding this whole area. So whilst this mortar is slowing things down, it's not slowing them down quite fast enough for us. So let's shift this blaster to a point where it can start hitting that valley. However little. Let's get this mortar over here as well. Okay, so we've kind of missed our opportunity down here, which is a shame, but I think we'll be able to recover. And that mortar is taking a bit of a pounding. So we may want to... Whoop, nope. Everything's working down from here. Let's get some support in here. Shift that back. It's taking that as well. And oh dear, I may have scuppered this. At least I don't have to worry about spores, so any infrastructure we do manage to build is actually going to stick around. And I can reach that upgrade from there. What shall we take? We'll take fire range by 20%, I think. That'll let our mortars reach further. Let's shift one of them up here so we can take down this well here, and that will hopefully cause the creep to recede up here, which will allow us to advance towards this spawn over here. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. If that's going to happen, we can shift these blasters up. And as you saw in the last video, we can more or less cap a creeper spawner with just the one blaster once you get them down enough, so that's going to be very handy once we get it over there. Just slowly making our advance, because we don't want to shift to a point where the creep can take over the collectors, because we've actually got them there. So we shift up our blasters, we don't want the creep overtaking them. Okay, we are nearly there. Shift there, we can overlap it. Shift here, that should cut it off entirely. And that also gives us an advantageous point to shift our mortar, so that we can hopefully start hitting this one down here, which is also feeding the majority of this whole basin. And that will give us an inroad to get to this totem. we're already about 11, 12 minutes in. Speed, the timer is double for us being in double speed, so quite probably I'm actually more around like 5, 6 minutes here, but nonetheless. Okay, we're doing pretty well now. If I moved this up here, we'd probably get a bit more progress on this. The problem, we have a slight problem that this is being bolstered by all 3 of these, so we kind of need to get something over here to cause some havoc. But we don't really have room for it there, so we're gonna have to build a squad, as it were, to take him over, and I think a drone will do us a favor without 2 there. We have some energy building on that, because we've gotten rid of our deficit, which I'm now happily rebuilding, but oh well. I want to shift this over. Okay, some damage. Try to shuffle these mortars around a bit so we can get a bit more purchase. Blaster may be going on a suicide run, but we'll see. Yeah, it is, because the group's just revolving around it. So let's use our drone to attack that well. See the creep is now receding, which is exactly what we want. So it has to refill that well before it can move on again. So a relay there. A relay is a long range, so it doesn't actually provide anything for your energy, but it does allow you to reach things further away. Which is exactly what we're looking for at the moment. Assuming we can get these relays up fast enough, we can just have our blaster over here again, handling that. And I'm tempted to make another, well, to make a reactor, because I could build a gigantic network or I can have like 12 reactors. But honestly, I prefer the reactors. Okay, we found some stuff over here, that's good, and our blaster is doing a job to cut off from here as well, that's another good thing. We could almost reach that from there, so we might actually be able to end this rather soon. Let's shift over here. Okay. And we now need something down here. We'll just use our drone, because he's handy, and there's nothing feeding this creep now, so once it gets blown up, it's gone. And once those collectors get filled up, ooh, we were gonna lose one up there. Okay, for a second I thought this was gonna go, but it looks like it's done. Nope, there we go. Well, we're gonna have to deal with that then. So let's get a blaster up here. Nearly had it, but I think we're gonna have to be here a little bit longer. More or less capped 2 of them, but our energy requirements are a little high. I probably could have used that reactor. Unfortunately, the collectors are, as soon as they are touched by creep, they are dead. No questions asked there. Let's get over there to attack that well a bit. Okay, and that should save us quite happily. Our deficit is still fairly high at 50 odds. But we seem to be holding, and now we just need to power up that last totem, and we'll be out of here. So if I just figure it out, portal's gonna be around there. Let's get moving now. Ah, my mistake. Slight thing, forgot these aren't connected. Which means that they also can be. Silly me, silly me. Should send our drone up. Oh, and there goes our collector. Our power situation is rather tenuous, making a lot of mistakes. But this is the first time I played this map, so mistakes are somewhat of an inevitability. I should keep it fair, because I know I can't have a lead on this. We don't seem to have a link to a vector there, unfortunately. There we go. There we go. So, let's see. Creeper coverage has an interesting arc. And energy used versus energy collected has a few spikes, but otherwise we actually stayed more or less fairly in line, but that also means we weren't gaining it, so that's probably why we were so starved most of the time. I wouldn't mind knowing what happens with that peak right where the creeper killed spikes. That may be when we first sent the drone out. Unfortunately, there isn't actually any like timescale here, so it's just here is what happened. Yep. 20 minutes, score of 7,500. Not fantastic, but for a first try, not bad. And if I was going to do that again, I would probably try and get the drone running faster, and I would probably try and see if I could get that bottom right section covered sooner. Because we spent far too long trying to grab that later on in the game. But give it a try yourself if you happen to have Creeper World, and let me know how you did in the comments. Okay, so that's all for now, and I shall catch you next time.